Veteran newsman Bob Woodward arguing the media failed when it came to fairly covering the now debunked Steele dossier. In a report about the Russiagate coverage, a Columbia Journalism Review reporter writes, quote, Bob Woodward of the Washington Post told me that the news coverage of the Russia inquiry, quote, wasn't handled well, and that he thought readers and viewers had been cheated. He urged newsrooms to, quote, walk down the painful road of introspection. Former CIA guy Buck Sexton joins us right now from Florida. Buck, what do you make of Bob Woodward, one of the best respected newsmen in history, saying, I tried to warn the Washington Post. Back in 2017, he said, this is a garbage document. And now we know, as we've been reporting, there was no there there.
Well, he's talking about a journalism that no longer exists and hasn't for some time, and some would argue if it really ever did. This was the mainstream media's kamikaze mission. I mean, they were doing everything possible to destroy Donald Trump, and even places like CNN made it clear. I mean, they openly would say that reporting the truth, Washington Post as well, by the way, meant being anti-Trump. So this was the mission. I mean, look, it's fine for him to say this now. I would have been a lot more interested in hearing him say this years ago. And I think what you're seeing is that people who have been in journalism among sort of elite journos for a long time now are turning around and looking at the wreckage of their former profession and understanding that they burned it all down to get Trump. They weren't successful, by the way, but this was the plan all along. You know, we also have the Hunter Biden laptop now with Hunter admitting, as if anyone didn't already know, that it's real. Those 51 intel officers were doing effectively the same thing that these journos did, which was serve the bidding, or rather serve the interests of the Democrat Party and do its bidding in the process. So this was all about politics. Right. It was never about they couldn't figure this out. They knew exactly what they were doing. I'm sorry that Bob Woodward just figured this out now. Right.
And to your point, and you used to be an officer at the CIA, when they were in office, they didn't say that,
yes.
It was later where they go, yeah, the laptop was Russian disinformation and misinformation. And it was after they left government service. But nonetheless, when you see the resume that those 50 guys had, it's like, well, you got to listen to them, right? You got to wonder how many votes that might have changed when that full-page ad came out and said, hey, don't blame Hunter. This is fake from Russia.
Yes, well, I mean, the intel officers also served their purpose for the Democrats, and so did the Washington Post, CNN, the New York Times, and all the rest of them with the Russiagate Trump collusion lies. The real collusion, as we know, was between media interests and people who wanted Donald Trump out and people in the deep state. That was really all that it came down to. All this other stuff about how, we failed with our integrity, or we failed in our goal of being true and honest journalists, that's nonsense. They knew what they were doing, I think, the whole time. And you have to look at the timing here, too. It's not enough to turn around after you've tried the soft coup attempt to get rid of Trump, or in the 2020 election, the sabotage attempt to say that the Hunter Biden laptop was fake. We all knew it was real. It's not enough to turn around after you've gotten what you want out of it and say, maybe we shouldn't have lied to you about that one. No, I think people realize their integrity, the believability of the media has been destroyed at a lot of these institutions, and it shouldn't come back.
Hindsight, always 20/20. Funny how that works. Buck, thank you very much for joining us today from Miami. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.